bottom with Yves Jaboin and Brandon Vischer. Very similar in record, 14 and 6 for Yves, 13 and 1 for Brandon. They also both like to stand and trade. Here's the difference. Yves is coming off 2 losses in a row, Brandon only 1 loss, but Yves Jaboin has faced higher calibers, and Brandon Vischer is not specifically a caliber at this point in time. Therefore, I think that Yves will probably win this one. I'm going to go for TKO in the second. The next match is Cub Swanson versus Mackin Semizer, and I have the utmost confidence that Mac will be able to defeat Cub Swanson. I'm going to go for a first round TKO, I think. Clint Godfrey is fighting Michael McDonald. Michael McDonald is a 10 and 1 debutee. He likes stand-up. Clint Godfrey, 11 and 2. He likes the ground. His only loss is by decision, and that was in his debut to the company. I think he'll probably bounce back from that. I'm going to go for Clint Godfrey here. Zach Micklewright is fighting Dustin Poirier. Zach Micklewright, I know, I've actually met him in person. He was there when I did my American Dreams Tour 2 trip to Militich Fighting Systems. I visited the gym there, and he was one of the people that was training at the time. Dustin, he's 7 and 1. He too, like Zach Micklewright actually, have pretty much been thrown in the deep end. You know, Micklewright has just fought, I think, Bart Palasiewski. Why he was fighting him, I don't know, because it was a little bit like, you know, someone who hasn't got very much experience at all, pretty much new on the scene, is facing somebody with a record, you know, as long as your arm. It seemed to be a bit silly. It was a little bit like a squash match. That's the sort of thing that Dustin Poirier has faced as well. He's been put against serious calibers which you wouldn't expect him necessarily to win against. Therefore, I think these two both have experience of fighting, you know, people maybe slightly beyond them at this point in their careers, but they're probably roughly at the same level. I'm going to go for Zach Micklewright. I just think he will win. I shall go for TKO in the third there. Anthony Njokuani is facing Edward Faloloto. I kid you not. F-A-A-L-O-L-O-T-O. I don't quite know how you're supposed to pronounce that. He's got a perfect record of 2 and actually fights under Chris Lieben Ultimate Fighting Systems. So there we are. Anthony Njokuani, record of 12 and 4. He is, in fact, coming off 2 losses in a row. But in his past, he has fought people like Bart Palasiewski and Chris Horodecki and won. He's a little bit unreliable, but he usually does quite well. Edward is not a caliber, so I expect that Anthony Njokuani will win this probably in the first round. I shall go for TKO again. Now we've got a difficult one for me. This is Rafael Asuncao versus LC Davis. Rafael Asuncao is part of Ascension MMA, and he's also a sucker punch fighter. I have had contact with him, and I think he's alright. He is fighting LC Davis. LC Davis was another person at MFS that I met in person when I went out there. I believe he's no longer training with MFS. He moved back down south somewhere. I'm not going to make a prediction on this one. Firstly, it's a bit of a conflict of interest because I would like them both to win. And I dare not say draw. That's just too stupid. So, for the record, it will be a draw. is that these two are both excellent fighters. This will be an excellent fight. It's prime candidate for fight of the night, this one. And I you know, may the best man win. But both of them, you know, I'm not going to make a decision on that. I shall go for a draw there. The next one, Damasio Page versus Demetrius Johnson. Damasio has the experience advantage. He has the record advantage, 15-4 to 6-1, and he's also on a win streak at the moment. So I shall go for him. I shall go for TKO in the third there. Joseph Benavidez versus Wagner Fabiano. This is an interesting fight because Wagner has quite a storied past. Joseph Benavidez is also extremely good. In theory, based on their records, based on the calibers, Wagner should win this one. I don't know whether he will or not. I shall... Part of me thinks that Joseph will probably... I don't know why, but I think Joseph might win this one. I think it'll go all the way to decision. I think this is another possible candidate for fight of the night here. I'll go for Joseph Benavidez by decision. Eric Koch is fighting Francisco Rivera. Now, I can never remember whether I know Eric Koch from MFS, or whether I know him through Sucker Punch, or whether he's a Sucker Punch MFS fighter, or whether he's one or the other, or both. I'm pretty sure. I know that I support him. I know that I have had in the past contact online with him. He's fighting Francisco Rivera, who is a perfect record of 5 debutee. I don't think this should be much of a problem for Eric Koch. I shall go for submission in the third. I'll go for a bar submission there. Nearing the top now, Chad Mendes versus Javier Vasquez. A little while ago, people were saying that Javier Vasquez was washed up. I do hear that he's getting on. I have had a little bit of contact with him. It didn't go particularly smoothly. Chad Mendes is a caliber in the WEC. This one, advantage probably Javier. Probably Javier here. The question is whether he'll be able to finish Chad Mendes or not. I think I'll go for decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Javier could actually finish that one by some sort of submission, but I'll play it safe and go for decision. And Urijah Faber versus Takeya Mizugaki. Again, this one a lot like the Joseph Benavidez, Wagner Fabiano. Two big names coming together. And Takeya has done quite well recently. But probably, even with Urijah Faber's up and down in the last sort of year and a half or so, shouldn't be too much for Faber if Faber is on the ball. Will he finish him? I think he probably could, just like Javier Vasquez could finish Chad Mendes. But I think it'll probably go to decision.